The history of architecture in New York City. New York City is one of the most architecturally diverse cities in the world. Its skyline is an evolving testament to innovation, cultural influences, and economic progress. The city's architecture spans from early Dutch colonial buildings to Art Deco skyscrapers, brutalist structures, and contemporary glass and steel towers. 1. Colonial and Early American Architecture, 1624 to 1783. Dutch and English influence. New York City was originally a Dutch colony named New Amsterdam, established in 1624. Early buildings were simple wooden structures with steeply pitched gable roofs, similar to Dutch rural houses. Example: the Wyckoff House, 1652, Brooklyn, one of the oldest surviving houses in NYC. 1. Colonial and Early American Architecture, 1624 to 1783. Dutch and English influence. New York City was originally a Dutch colony named New Amsterdam, established in 1624. Early buildings were simple wooden structures with steeply pitched gable roofs, similar to Dutch rural houses. Example: the Wyckoff House, 1652, Brooklyn, one of the oldest surviving houses in NYC. After the English took control in 1664, the city's architecture shifted toward Georgian styles, inspired by British design. These buildings had symmetrical facades, brick exteriors, and classical proportions. Example: Frances Tavern, 1719, Manhattan, a Georgian-style brick building. 2. Post-Revolutionary and Federal Period, 1783–1820s. After the American Revolution, Federal-style architecture became dominant. These buildings featured elegant, refined designs with brick facades, delicate ironwork, and fanlight windows above doorways. Example: Hamilton Grange, 1802, the home of Alexander Hamilton, a prime example of Federal-style architecture. 3. Greek Revival and Gothic Revival, 1820s–1860s. New York City expanded rapidly in the 19th century, and architectural tastes shifted. Greek Revival became popular, symbolizing democracy and classical ideals, followed by the picturesque Gothic Revival. Greek Revival example: the Merchant's House Museum, 1832, in Manhattan. Gothic Revival example: Trinity Church, 1846, designed by Richard Upjohn, which stood as NYC's tallest building at the time. 4. The Gilded Age and Beaux-Arts, 1870s–1910s. During the late 19th and early 20th centuries, NYC became a global financial hub. Architects drew inspiration from European classical styles, leading to grand Beaux-Arts buildings with elaborate facades, sculptural details, and marble interiors. Example: the New York Public Library, 1895. Example: Grand Central Terminal, 1913. This period also saw the rise of cast-iron architecture, particularly in Soho, where buildings featured prefabricated iron facades with decorative details. Example: the Howout Building, 1857. 5. The Birth of the Skyscraper, 1890s–1930s. New York City pioneered the skyscraper, thanks to advances in steel frame construction and elevator technology. Early skyscrapers featured neoclassical, Beaux-Arts, and Art Deco styles. Flatiron Building, 1902, one of NYC's first steel frame skyscrapers. Woolworth Building, 1913, a neo-Gothic skyscraper, once the tallest in the world. Chrysler Building, 1930, a classic Art Deco skyscraper with a distinctive spire. Empire State Building, 1931, the most famous Art Deco skyscraper, once the tallest in the world. 6. Modernist and International Style, 1940s–1970s. After World War II, glass and steel skyscrapers became the new standard, emphasizing simplicity and functionality. The international style, influenced by European modernism, became prominent. Example: the United Nations headquarters, 1952, designed by Le Corbusier, Oscar Niemeyer, and Wallace Harrison. Example, Chrysler Building, 1958, by Mies van der Rohe, a minimalist glass and steel tower. This period also saw the rise of brutalism, with its heavy concrete structures. Example, the Whitney Museum of American Art, 1966, by Marcel Breuer. 7. Postmodernism and Urban Revival, 1980s-2000s. By the 1980s, architects began rejecting the rigid modernist style in favor of more playful, decorative, and historical elements. Postmodern buildings featured bold colors, mixed materials, and unique forms. Example, AT&T Building, 1984, now Sony Tower, by Philip Johnson, featuring a distinctive Chippendale-inspired top. During this time, historic preservation efforts increased, leading to the revitalization of neighborhoods like Soho and the Meatpacking District. Example, restoration of Grand Central Terminal, 1998. 8. The 21st Century, Sustainable and Supertall Skyscrapers, 2000s present. The 21st century has been marked by sustainability, technology, and extreme height. Many new buildings focus on energy efficiency and environmentally friendly materials. One World Trade Center, 2014, a symbol of resilience and the tallest building in NYC at 1,776 feet. The High Line, 2009 to 2019, an adaptive reuse project that transformed an old rail line into an urban park. Hudson Yards, 2019-present, a massive redevelopment featuring ultramodern skyscrapers and the Vessel, a futuristic art installation. Supertall residential towers have also transformed the skyline, particularly along Billionaires Row, 57th Street. Example, Central Park Tower, 2020, the tallest residential building in the world. Conclusion. New York City's architectural history is a reflection of its economic power, cultural shifts, and technological advancements. From Dutch colonial houses to iconic Art Deco skyscrapers and modern super towers, the city continues to evolve as a leader in architectural innovation. Would you like a more detailed focus on a specific era or type of architecture? Like, subscribe, and share. For more information videos.